everyone. Today I'm going to be taking you through a full day of eating and showing you how to make healthy food taste great. And I'm also going to show you a leg workout for effective muscle building. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite pre-workout breakfast options. If you're eating pretty close to when you're going to be exercising, I recommend having a lighter meal. You want something low in fat just so it's not taking a lot of energy to digest, something with a lot of carbs to give you energy, and some protein to help you hit your daily protein goals. This is an oatmeal recipe. You're going to be mixing some oatmeal with powdered peanut or almond butter, some Greek yogurt, and fruit of your choice. I like using bananas, raspberries, and blueberries because they're high in fiber and antioxidants. Now with the fruit here, it's got a lot of sugar in it, but the fiber that comes along with it makes it a complex carb. Your body's going to be taking a little bit longer to break this down, and it's going to give you sustained energy throughout a workout. And I like to add a little bit of honey. It's optional, but I think it tastes better, and it'll give you a little boost of energy off the bat. So I'll show you how to make this. To start off, you're going to take the oatmeal, add it to the bowl. Usually with this much oatmeal, they tell you to add a 1/3 cup of water or milk. Because we're going to be adding the powdered almond butter, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of this. You're going to need a little bit more water. It's not much. I would say in between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of water, or just shy of a 1/2 cup. Going to add that in there, mix it up, and put it in the microwave for about a minute. Now that the oatmeal is cooked, you're going to want to let it cool a little bit. I would also say, depending on how much water you use, if after a minute it's not very solid, throw it back in for another 30 seconds, stir it again. You're going to add 1/2 cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. And with the fruit, I would say about a handful of fruit. I used like 20 blueberries, 8 raspberries, 1/2 a banana. You don't need to be that precise if you don't want to. I like to put the yogurt right on top of the oatmeal. And I would say I'll probably do like a teaspoon of honey, just a drizzle. And I'll show you up close. That's how it looks. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this, and then I'm going to be taking you to the gym so we can get into the workout. Hack squat, depending on what kind of machine your gym has, you might need to adjust the guards at the bottom. For me, if I set them all the way to the bottom range of motion, I can still get down there, but under heavier weight, for me, it's not as comfortable going that far. And when I set it up just a little bit and I go through the motion, I'm still able to get a good depth. As you go down, you just want to make sure that you break 90 degrees with your knees and get at least to like this low to get a good stretch through your quads and your glutes. And you want to control it and press through your heels to really focus on your quads. We're going to be doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. You're going to want to leave 1 or 2 reps in the tank each set, and then on the last set, optionally go to failure. You also want to make sure when you get down to the guard, you still want to be in control and don't let yourself bounce off the guard. For the pin-loaded hamstring curl, you're gonna get in the machine, find a comfortable spot with the backrest, and you wanna be further forward than I think most people intuitively think. For this machine, it tells you to line it up where your knees are lined up with this yellow spot, which is good, but you wanna go to a place where once you're in position to start, you feel a slight stretch in your hamstrings to get a stretch at the top of the motion. I like to bend my feet a bit this way to get a stretch around the ankle, and you're gonna do smooth and controlled reps. We're gonna do 3 sets of 12 to 15. With these, you wanna be really careful. If you don't control it all the way through and you let it come back through too fast, you can injure yourself. I've once tweaked my hamstring on this machine, so Want to really make sure to be smooth and controlled, but you do still want to push yourself. Now for walking lunges, you're going to do 3 sets of 12, and it's going to be 12 per leg, so a total of 24 lunges in each set. And you want to make sure to control the descent, that way you don't hit your back knee into the ground with much force. Leg extension, you're going to get into the machine. I would say for this setting, I like to have it as far back as possible to get a deep quad stretch. And for the back positioning, you're going to go as far back as you can while still making contact with your back against the pad and not letting your butt pop up. I like to kind of get into the machine a little bit, and then you're going to pull your butt down into the seat as hard as you can, and you're going to extend up, and you're going to really slow down the negative to 2 or 3 seconds. And mentally, the cue I was told is really try to think about your quads pulling apart on the way down. And we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 to 12. And first couple reps, these might not feel too difficult, but with slowing it down, it gets quite painful. The machine hip abductor, one trick I've seen that I really like is instead of sitting back normally and pressing out, you're going to try leaning forward slightly. You can either keep your hands together or up on the machine, and by pressing out from here, I can really feel my abductors into my glutes firing, and I can really get a better controlled squeeze.
Who do you think you are? Seriously. I'll tell you how
I don't belong to anybody. Don't have to answer to anyone. I do whatever I wanna do.
get it right.
Don't say that I have to follow any rules, like I'm some student at school. I do.
And the last leg exercise we have is tibia raises. Now I added these to this program myself. I saw them online and I really liked the idea of them. I used to run a lot and I experienced shin splints and I would get a lot of pain in this area, and I realized that my anterior tibialis muscle was weak and it was getting overworked. It's kind of a challenging muscle to target and exercise, so I found this, and it allows you to get a good stretch and really squeeze that muscle and train it over time with added resistance to get stronger. This is totally optional, but it does help with absorbing shock when landing from jumping, and it can help to prevent knee pain. So in my opinion, it's a very functional exercise to add long term.
Get it right. Who do you think you are?
Think it's funny, think you own me. You must be out of your mind or on something.
All right, finally, time to get lunch. You thought we were gonna skip stretching? Absolutely not. Let's go.
Get it right.
Don't say that I have to follow any rules like I'm some student at school. I do whatever I wanna do.
Who do you think you are?
Don't say that I have to follow any rules like I'm some student at school. I do whatever I wanna do.
Who do you think you are? Seriously. I'll tell you how it is. Get it right.
All right, we got the Popeyes. I'm trying out the blackened chicken tenders, which I saw on social media. They've got a ton of protein and they're still pretty low in calories. I got them with just a regular mashed potato for a side and some barbecue sauce. So I'm gonna throw up the macros on screen now of the whole meal. And I'm gonna see what I think. They look pretty good. I got the bold barbecue sauce as well. And first impression, they look really good. They smell good. But is it gonna be enough without the crispy exterior is what I'm wondering. That's actually delicious. It's got a lot of spice with, I assume that's just a lot of pepper in there too. It still has enough oil on it too where it's not dry. I would definitely recommend these. I think I got 8 pieces, so this is probably going to be pretty filling, especially with how much protein it has. But if you're looking for some quick lunch, definitely give this a try. These are some really good mashed potatoes and gravy. I find with Popeyes, whether it's the entrees or the sides, it's really hit or miss. On a great day, it's amazing. Some of the best chicken sandwiches I've had. On a bad day, I don't want to go back. So I'd recommend the mashed potatoes though. I saw it's one of their lowest calorie side options when you get the regular mashed potatoes and gravy, and it's still got tons of flavor. All right, now that we're back from the gym and I've had a shower, I'm just gonna have a quick snack before we get cooking for dinner. I'm just gonna have an apple and some almonds. Almonds, in my opinion, are a great way to get some healthy fats in your diet. I would just say be careful because even though they are healthy, with the high fat content, they're very calorie dense. So just be careful not to have too many of them without being aware of how high in calories they are. All right, so after that, let's get cooking. So for the recipe today, we're gonna be making some Cajun chicken fettuccine Alfredo.
Yummers.
It's one of my favorite dishes of, and it is one of my favorite recipes of all time. I will say it's complicated. There's a lot of recipes I'm gonna show on the channel here that are made to be simple, fast, easy. This isn't necessarily one of them. However, it's worth it. And I would say too, if you're not super experienced with cooking, I wouldn't let a complicated recipe discourage you. I would just say, you know, cooking can be experimental. It's, in my opinion, it's meant to be fun, and even if you make a mistake, you can learn from it and do better next time. So there's a lot of stuff you're gonna need today. You're gonna need some fettuccine pasta. I am trying out this brand here, which I haven't had before, but I saw it was well reviewed online. It's gonna be much lower calorie than normal fettuccine, so that'll be helpful. Otherwise, normal's fine. Gonna need some milk. I'm going with skim milk. You could use like a nut milk to make it even lower calorie if you wanted, but I wanted to keep the flavor with some real dairy. Cottage cheese is also going to be part of the sauce, which will help to keep it high in protein and get some thickness without quite as much calories. You're going to need some boneless, skinless chicken breast, 1 yellow or white onion, a garlic clove, some Parmesan cheese. I went with you know, a bit of a fancier block here. If you want to just get a jar of already shredded Parmesan, you can do that. You're gonna need a neutral oil, like vegetable or canola would work as well. If you have to use olive oil, it's fine. It's gonna be for pan searing the chicken. And with a neutral oil, it's not gonna take over the flavor of the chicken. It's gonna let the chicken, you know, shine. You're also gonna want some Creole seasoning. This is the brand that I like to use. A little bit of cornstarch, hot sauce, some spices, tomato paste, and some half and half. For a garnish, I've got lemon, just to put some lemon juice on it. And then you can use either like freeze-dried parsley, or I got some fresh parsley. So yeah, let's get going. First, we're gonna get some prep work out of the way. We're gonna take our yellow onion, cut 1/4 of it and dice it. And then we're gonna take 4 cloves of garlic and mince them. All right, now that we've got the onion and garlic diced and minced, I'm going to set that aside until we're gonna be cooking in the pan. For a side with this meal, I'm gonna be cooking some asparagus in the oven. Feel free to use whatever, you know, vegetable you'd like, or honestly, if you just wanna cook the pasta too, it's great on its own. I just like to have something else on the side to try to help get in my fruits and veggies throughout the day. So I already washed and dried the asparagus, and I've preset the oven to 425 degrees. After spreading these out, you're going to drizzle some olive oil generously and sprinkle on some kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper. And in the oven, these are only gonna need about 10 minutes. You wanna go until they just barely blacken and get crispy. And because of that, I'm going to wait to actually put these in. The rest of the cooking is going to take longer than that, so I'll just have these on standby, and whenever I think I'm roughly 10 minutes away from being finished, I'm gonna pop them in the oven. Now you're gonna take your chicken breasts and tenderize them. I'm gonna cut these in half. Now for this too, you don't need to use 2 chicken breasts. If you want to just use 1 chicken breast, that's fine as well. But since I had 2 in the pack, I'm just gonna cook it up, and then that'll be more for the leftover servings. So you're also going to season them with the Creole seasoning. You're gonna use about 1 teaspoon per chicken breast. So I've got 2 teaspoons measured in here. Now, before I show you how we're making part of the sauce, one thing I wanted to note, I'm actually going to save one of the chicken breasts in the fridge for tomorrow or the next day. That way, when I'm heating up leftovers, I can cook this chicken fresh. Now I'm gonna show you how we can make the part of the sauce that's gonna be before we're cooking. Getting this out of the way now will help. That way, when you're worrying about the chicken and the pasta and the rest of the sauce, this is already done. You're gonna add 1 cup of cottage cheese to a blender. Have a 1/4 cup of half and half and a 1/4 cup of skim milk, just put together. Got a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, salt and pepper, and 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. I like using the Louisiana hot sauce, but otherwise, if you aren't a huge fan of spice, you could omit this or just add less. We're going to blend this until smooth and then keep it on the side. And then later we're going to add this to the sauce after we get the onions and the garlic cooked up in the pan. Now we've got the prep work out of the way, I'm gonna be showing you what we're gonna be doing on the stove here. What to start off with doing is getting the pasta going, and just go with whatever directions are on the pasta you chose. About 15 to 17 minutes. Once that's going, we're going to get some oil in the pan for the chicken. That's gonna be the neutral oil, so I'm gonna be using vegetable. And in the other larger saucepan, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil and start cooking the onion and garlic from earlier. You're gonna set the smaller pan for your chicken at medium high, and your large saucepan you're gonna want at medium. You're gonna want half a tablespoon of smoked paprika and half a tablespoon of regular ground paprika. Add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Get some olive oil going. I'm gonna add in the quarter of yellow onion that was diced and the 4 to 5 cloves of garlic that I minced. Now these are gonna be in here about 3 to 5 minutes before we're gonna be adding some spices. To mix this around, you wanna get it coated well with the olive oil so that way it doesn't burn. Now for the chicken, when dropping it into the oil, make sure to drop it in away from you. That's not good. I would say it's probably better to wait until your water is boiling before you're starting the chicken and the garlic and the onions in hindsight, but I think we'll be okay. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and flip the chicken over. And you wanna get a little bit of browning on each side. So now we're gonna give it about 3 to 4 minutes on this side. So I'm going to add, it's half a tablespoon of paprika, half a tablespoon of smoked paprika, and 1 teaspoon of Creole seasoning. I think I was a little bit dry with the onions and the garlic to start. You wanna have at least enough oil to help the onions sweat. I'm also gonna go ahead and put the asparagus in the oven now and check back on that in 10 minutes. And add our reserved sauce from before. I'm going to set this to low and cover it. We're going to let that simmer. And now the chicken should be just about done. So I'm going to turn that off. When the chicken is almost done cooking, you're just going to take a small ladle of water from your pasta and pour this into the pan. Now you want to be careful when adding water to oil, but you're going to scrape along the bottom of the pan with a wooden spoon and deglaze it. All right, so now I'm transferring over the chicken. That looks amazing. Smells delicious. And that is plenty. All right. Add our leftover water from the pan of the chicken, and this will really add in some flavor. Noodles to the empty pot, removed from the heat. And we are going to finally add our sauce to the pasta. All right, so now that we're finally done, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. That is very good. It's got some spice, it's got depth of flavor. That crunchy crust on the chicken brings it all together. Oh my goodness. That took a while, but it was definitely worth it. The asparagus is good as well. I could have cooked it slightly longer, but it's definitely still good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the macros for this meal right here for one portion. You can see that even though it's still very flavorful, it's got tons of protein and it's not super high in calories like a usual chicken Alfredo would be. So yeah, it's gonna wrap up the video for dinner. I'm just gonna show you guys one late night snack option that I like to have. So to finish the day off, I'm gonna be having some Halo Top, just a lower calorie ice cream. I really enjoy Halo Top. They've got a lot of great flavors, so I definitely recommend giving it a shot if you haven't had it before. That's gonna finish off the day at 2,400 calories. And I had a lot of carbs today, just with leg day. Need a lot of energy, a lot of carbs to recover as well. And of course we had a lot of protein. So yeah, that was a full day of eating on leg day. If you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Let me know what else you'd like me to do for the next video. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.